Hi there. Let's talk about something that could possibly question your very existence in life and maybe even change your perspective on life. Warning, before we jump into this video, you need to know that I'll talk about not being alive, talk about deep stuff, because the question I'll try to answer is a very deep question. This could also possibly cook your brain to the extent of you going crazy. This video may actually change your view on life, so I suggest you actually watch this video in full. And also, I am a human. I'll explain later why I needed to mention that. So the question I'll talk about is life a video game? Short answer, well, yes, but actually no. Long answer, sit tight cause this is gonna be a bumpy ride. You know Elon Musk, that awesome guy that plans on going to Mars and owns multiple billion-dollar companies? Yeah, that guy. He said that the odds of us being in a base reality is 1 in a billionth chance, meaning that the chance of reality being a simulation is very, 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 very possible. In this video, I'm going to state the similarities and differences between life and a video game, and use that to see how accurate it is to say that life is a video game, and also to see whether it's accurate to say that there is a 1 in a billionth chance that life is a reality base. First of all, please cover your ears if you're a child that believes in superpowers, because it is time to tell the truth. 3, 2, 1. There's no such thing as superpowers. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry. Oh, where's the proof? Well, I don't have any, although I can tell you this. Blame it on physics. So you know, like you want to be super fast or want to fly? Well, let me explain to you how it's not possible. So let's say you're playing a racing video game. Cars, they go vroom vroom, right? You're so good at the game that you're second last. Then all of a sudden you want the car to go from its limit of 400 kilometers an hour in the game to 1 million kilometers an hour, so you can win the race. It's possible, right? Oh, it's not? So if you understand that, then you can also understand that this can't happen in real life either. You can't just change life's rules, just like you can't change the game's rules, unless you're the creator or programmer of the game. OMG. Who can control and edit the game? He is called a programmer. So who can control life and the universe? Well, we call him God. Life has limits and games as well, because of the way the programmer has programmed the game, or what we call in this real world, the laws of physics. So far, we can put this in the table below. Does it have limits to it? For game, yes. For life, yes as well. Oh, there's a thing called infinity. Well, we haven't proven that yet, and if you say that there is infinity, well, for now I can say that that is also called a limit. Ask your maths teacher about that. Who can control the game? For game, programmer. For life, programmer as well, which is known as God. Next thing, achievements. So any game you play, you get a reward, right? You get points, rewards, or unlock achievements. We also get rewards in reality. It's called dopamine. It's a chemical or hormone in the brain that makes you happy when you do something good, like getting an A+ on your exam. And when you do get an A+, this is what your brain does. Achievement unlocked. Here is your dopamine as a reward. So now we can add, do we get rewards for life and game? Yes. Now stop right there, because this list can go on and on and on, and it doesn't matter what similarities I state or differences I state between life and a video game, because someone can easily just make a new game to change a difference I could have mentioned between a video game and life, and it will now become another similarity between a video game and life. And also, what Elon Musk said was that with this technological advancement, we will either make simulations indistinguishable to reality, or civilization will cease to exist. Well, let's look at the evolution of games, shall we? Let's look at Pac-Man. Wow, that looks exactly like real life, right? No? Oh, okay, let's make a different, better game. Okay, I got this. Hey, we created Minecraft, a first-person perspective video game where you can do lots of stuff. Oh, more similar to life than Pac-Man, but still not enough to be called the exact simulation of life. Okay then, here's a game that is more realistic. You see where I'm going with this? This is called Evolution. And this is where I refer back to Elon Musk saying that either we'll make simulations indistinguishable to reality or civilization will cease to exist. Well, based on my opinion, we can't make simulations indistinguishable to reality because even though there is a thing called evolution, it won't be possible. Mathematically, you can represent it as a graph sort of like a parabola, and there is a limit that it will never reach, which is called the indistinguishable to reality simulation. But if you want this in words, then this is it. If you do state that we can make a simulation indistinguishable to our own reality, you're pretty much saying that by making a game called Pac-Man, then that Pac-Man character in the game can also make a game exactly like the one we had made for Pac-Man to exist in, and Pac-Man will then not know whether it is in the world we made it to be in or the world it had created for himself. That's impossible, right? Same for us too. We have sense like hearing, smelling, and tasting, and all other senses. So how is it possible to create the exact simulation of these senses if we are already experiencing it right now? Remember the Pac-Man example I just said? Now let's see how it refers to us as well. It's simple. If we are in a simulation, our programmer, which we call God or Almighty, had created the simulation that we exist in because he cannot feel what we feel in this reality we call. Which is the same like we can make a game called Pac-Man for Pac-Man because we can't feel what Pac-Man feels in the game, what he thinks is reality for him. But yet, you're saying that we can make the exact simulations like Pac-Man can make for himself, the exact simulation of what we created for Pac-Man to be in. To tell you the truth, I think that the simulation we will only ever be able to create close to our own was right here in our brain. It is called a dream, which is funny enough we already have. And if you want to control it, meaning want to have access to admin options in your dream, then it's called a lucid dream simulation. Probably that is the closest we will ever get to reality and not to the actual reality base we live in now. So when Elon Musk said that with this technological advancement we will either make simulations indistinguishable to reality or civilization will cease to exist, based on my theory, we can scratch out the make simulation indistinguishable to reality. So that leaves us with civilization will cease to exist. Oh no, catastrophe. It may be true. We will either cause it ourselves, such as climate change can result in global warming and all life will die, or there will be a nuclear war outbreak, or AI would kill every human being to save Earth. Or it could be external factors we can't control, such as the sun exploding before we could escape Earth, or the universe will expand to the point of molecules, then nothingness, and cease to exist, or everything would all contract back again into singularity and the Big Bang Theory will happen all over again. There are so many theories to this, but that's the future. So Elon Musk, you may be right about the civilization ceases to exist, but I cannot tell if that would happen because that's the future. And all I can say for now is that by making statements like these, it's a cheeky way to market technology and businesses. So theoretically, we can't create a simulation to our own, but can make a world for Pac-Man to exist in. So then, is life a video game? I mean, you can definitely treat it like one. It's pretty much the same thing. If not, there's always evolution and a game will be created similar to our own life. But here's a catch to it if you want to treat life as a video game. If there is God, then this is a simulation. And if there isn't someone above us, then this isn't a simulation. So I think it's more of a 50-50, not a 1 in a billionth chance of life being a base reality. It makes sense to me in that way. Now of course, this is where I say, I am a human as well, which I said right at the beginning of the video. Meaning this is based on my opinion and you can choose whether to believe in me, in Elon Musk, in someone else, or even your own beliefs. But really we can only tell after we pass away. So life is a video game. You may say, no, what about free will? Well, some scientists say that it exists due to electrons moving in atoms are random and consider randomnism as free will. But they have no proof to show that, and they don't have enough technology to actually prove that either. It's like saying that the universe revolves around us, but later we were proven wrong when we had enough technology to prove it. And I can also say that you don't have free will because you had no choice to be born into this world to begin with, or where you were born, because maybe where you were born had a lot of red colors around you and that influences your favorite color, which is red, which is why you went on YouTube, because it's red. And then you saw this video. Hi there. And all other factors when you progress in life will affect your decision making. But then you say, if I had free will, I would choose a different place to be born in. But of course you had to make that decision if you existed. And since you don't exist, you can't have that free will to make that decision. Also, your brain's pretty much just a very complex program. So your brain is the software and your body is the hardware. And you can't control your body nor your brain. Which I mean by that is, although you can move your hand up and down, you can say, brain, think of 1 + 1 = 2, but you can't actually choose how many arms you have, or how big you want to be, or how many six-packs you want. So yeah, you don't have free will on that. So actually it's more likely for life to be a simulation than to be reality. Let's say 60-40 if I consider that you believe God exists and that you believe there is no such thing as free will. And it's vice versa, 40-60 if you don't believe God exists and that you believe there is such a thing as free will. Free will has a more likely chance of being proved than the existence of God, because we will never know until we die. Now I'll leave you with this. We are all born equal. Why? Not because this guy was born in a rich family or this guy was born in a poor family, but because when we die, plants, worms, cockroaches, every living organism, even us humans, we are all equal because we will all die and take nothing with us to the nothingness, to the uncertainty that awaits for all of us living organisms. And what really counts in life is how much improvement you made from where you had started to where you ended. If you were poor but now have a decent salary, that could possibly be a higher percentage of improvement than a person born in a rich family and only made another couple millions in his life with the help of his parents. So keep on persevering from where you started, be the best you can be. Whether you're now rich or poor, always improve, because who knows, maybe life is a game. And when you die, the final score you will get in life is possibly a score on how much you improved from where you started. Okay, I know this got really deep. I made my conclusion to the question, but remember, this is an open-ended question where Elon Musk may be right, I may be right, but it's your choice how you want to treat life. This is an open-ended question where, for now, theories can only be counted with theories. I'm always open to others' opinions on this subject, so leave a comment and share this with others, because who knows, maybe they could also get a different perspective on life because you shared this video. Always self-improve. Cheers!
I'll be back.